So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the new media and American League Baseball capital of the world, St. Petersburg, Florida. Not to put too much pressure on her, but Michele Balan is a stand-up comedian from New York, where every city block is bursting with comic setups and teardowns. So she's got to be funny, right? Balan first came to national attention on the fourth season of the comedy reality series Last Comic Standing. Although, I got to interrupt myself here for a minute. Okay, what is there about a comic series where you're pitting comics against each other that's at all reality? I don't get that. Maybe she can explain it. Anyway, this summer she is appearing in Stand Up 360, a series of 7 original feature-length stand-up comedy films that began appearing in cinemas nationwide the week of May 4th, with a new film rolling out every 2 weeks. Hosted by Carolyn Ray, each of the films offers a different lineup of comedians performing live stand-up, complete with backstage glimpses. A sample of comics in the film series includes Judy Gold, Godfrey, Roz G., Eric Rivera, Wally Collins, Jackie Hoffman, and of course, Michele Balan. You can find out when the movie will be in your town at www.stand-up360.com. That's stand-up360 with a dash between the stand and the up.com. Now, before I bring her on, here's an example of Michele.
Oh, my God, I am on Last Comic Standing! This is going to catapult my career to work at Starbucks. I can't wait. I have a reality show already. Did you watch Survivor? I have my own Survivor. I live in Manhattan and I have a car. Now, if that's not a Survivor show, I don't know what is. I put 30,000 miles on that car last year looking for a spot. Okay, don't think I really have money or anything. Believe me, I have a 91 Nissan Sentra. Yes, that's how well my career's going. I want airbags, I bring a pillow. My life is great. I got to tell you, when I was leaving New York, this is amazing. I'm walking down the street, this young kid walks by me, he's running, he bangs into me and says, "Get out of my way, ma'am." I'm like, who are you calling ma'am? I'm 25, but I smoke. It's not that funny.
Michele, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hi. I'm listening to my voice going, Jesus, do I sound that New York? Oh, my God. I'm horrified. I'm sorry. I have to cut this short, and I have to go to school on how to speak. Oh, my goodness graciousness. How did I ever get on that show? Jeez.
I don't know. You made it pretty far. You were one of the 4 finalists last season out, right?
Yeah, I was a finalist.
What is that like, being on a competition for stand-up comedians? I mean, I get the American Idol thing, but I mean, you know what? You're absolutely right. You said something earlier about, I mean, how do you compare apples to oranges? I mean, come on, please. I mean, you got Josh Blue with cerebral palsy. You have me. You have Ty Bart. I mean, it's like nothing is similar. How do you compare? I mean, it's not like, see, on American Idol, they're not writing the songs. They're just singing them. Right.
You know what I mean? People like the music. They go, oh, I like this song. And it's just how you sing it. With us, they're going to like the way we think, our material. It's crazy. Hey, look, I think it's a crazy show, but thank God I was on it. That's all I got to say. At this point, I'd be an intervention to get him back on TV.
Now, I'll tell people we have a couple more clips from Last Comic Standing that we'll play later in the show. So it was a good thing. I mean, did your career change appreciably after being on that show?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, you could be on Celebrity Rehab and your career goes well. You know, it's all about, the TV time and blah, 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 blah. I mean, look at these crazy shows, all these housewives that are all over. Now they're starting one from New Jersey. I think it's going to be from the Paramus Mall. I don't even know. I mean, so, these TV, it can't hurt to be on TV week after week after week.
Mm. And what about the judges? Now, it's one thing when Simon Cowell comments on your singing ability, but what about, the judges that you had on Last Comic Standing? How did that go?
You mean in the first round? Or because really what happened was, I don't even know, the way they did it, the judges, when we first got selected, it was very different each time, different judges. And I don't even know how much the judges even had a part to play. You know, I mean, there's hearsay that it's really basically the producers are going to pick who they want anyway.
Now, Kathy Griffith was a judge while you were on, wasn't she?
Yeah, in the semifinals when we got to L.A. and we got to the semifinals, it was her and Gary Marshall, who I love, and whatever the hell his name is. Can I say hell on here?
You can use any language you like. That's what's fun about online radio.
I don't know who the fuck
Say whatever you
anyway,
like. There you go.
whatever his name was, I don't even remember, but I think the black guy from Saturday Night Live, I forgot his name. But
how sad for him.
Yeah. That really
was it useful? You know, Kathy Griffith, did you pick up anything? Did she say anything useful, or
does she ever say anything useful? I didn't say that. That wasn't Michele Balan. That was my inner voice. You know, not really. She did not really. Mostly Gary Marshall talked to me and said whatever he said. He asked me how long I was doing comedy, and I told him I started on a stagecoach. And he said I talk very fast, and I told him I'll be dead soon. I have to talk fast. So that was it.
Okay, all right. And what about the other contestants? Did you get along with them? Was it competitive with them?
Yeah, I think, you know, you're all living together, which is, you know, and everybody wants to make it to the top 5, and so there's some backstabbing. There's, you know, it's hard. It's hard because you want to win the prize, so, you know, you can't trust anyone. It's really weird. It reminded me of going back to, like, school, you know, being a kid and being back in school and being, oh, Jesus, I don't know if I like these people. But, you know, you just kind of try to, you know, focus on you know, winning and just doing. And, you know, the thing is I was challenged a lot. I don't even know if you saw the season, but I was, you know, I was up there more than anyone being challenged because they tried to get rid of me. And they didn't. I stayed to the end.
Was that an age thing? Do you think that they wanted you out of there because you were maybe older than the other contestants, or?
Well, I think that, you know, first of all, they always go after the women, number one. Those are the first that are challenged because they figure, oh, we'll get rid of the girls. They're an easy target. And that's, you know, in any business, I think. And so that's why they figured, oh, you know, the women they'll be easy to knock out of this competition. And then most of these people, I didn't know a lot of them, which was interesting. And so they didn't know me, and they had no idea who I was, and they figured, all right, she's probably an easy mark. And then, you know, thank God I wasn't. Somebody up there liked me.
There you go. Well, Michele, I'm going to interrupt for a second. We've got a call here. I believe this is for you. Hi, do you have a comment or question for Michele Balan?
No, geez.
Yes, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Michele Balan, one of the funniest comedians I know. This is Dean Austin. Love you, girl.
Oh, my God. Hey. How are you,
hey,
sweet cake?
I hear you, girl. I hear you doing your thing. I just wanted to call and give you your kudos.
Oh, you're a sweet cake. Oh, man, I'll come to L.A. one of these days. Did you buy me a house there yet? I'll come on down.
I got you, girl. I got your house, and I also got some desserts waiting on you, so come on down, girl.
Oh, Dean, thanks for calling in. You're a sweetheart. He's a very funny guy from L.A., everybody. Dean Austin. Remember that name if you're on the West Coast.
Cool. Right. Keep doing your thing. Have a good one now.
Dean,
thanks.
Well, Dean, before you go, wait a minute. How do you know Michele? What can you tell us about Michele that she's not going to tell us about herself?
No, there's nothing to tell. She's real. She's about as real as it gets, man. She's about as real as it gets. I met her at the Comedy Store. Actually met her last time I was standing at the taping, but it was briefly, and then we just chopped it up at the Comedy Store and hung out, man, and got to know her as a person, not just a funny comedian, but as a person, and she's a wonderful person. So, of course, I'm going to call in and show my love.
Oh, thanks, honey. You're a doll. You're a doll and a funny man. So go see Dean in L.A. Don't tell him about the little fooling around we did, okay? Don't tell him about that.
I won't this. That's between us, girl. Don't get it out in the world. Don't get it out in the world. Have a good one now. Y'all be good now.
Thanks, baby cakes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for calling in, Dean. Bye-bye. Oh, that was nice.
Hey, that was cool. What a sweetheart.
Better than having somebody call in. trying to hit you up for money.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of when you said that. I'm thinking, who do I owe money to?
Well, let's hold on to that thought because we've got another call for you.
Oh,
Hi, do you have a comment or question for Michele?
Yes.
Okay.
Michele?
Yeah, hi.
You got that money you owe me?
Hey, how much was it? I owe a few people.
Which one? You owe me some money, man. When are you going to pay me?
How much was your check?
My kick?
Yeah, how much do I owe you?
I paid $30 for her.
Huh?
How much was my kick?
No, your check.
My check?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
I don't know. Where are you calling from?
Oh? Do you have the hang-up button?
Listen, yeah, I got one of them. I got all kind of buttons here. You want to press a couple of them?
No, Jesus. We're getting an obscene phone call on the blog radio.
Yeah, he's gone.
Usually when people call to breathe heavy with me, that's because they have asthma.
That was weird.
That was weird. I'm glad you invited me. You're going to have an interesting day. Jeez.
I can see that.
My God.
There's a web chat that's been filling up that accompanies a live interview. Somebody named Eric David Hansen says, I've known Michele 15 years, and she still makes me laugh. She is a brilliant comedian.
I offered people money to call in and say that. I have to confess.
Well, I go ahead and tell folks if you've got a comment or question, polite, preferably. You can call Michele Balan while she's on the show at 1-646-595-3135. You can also check out her website, www.comicbalan.com. That's solid, comicbalan.com. You can also check out some video of her there. You can order her DVD or her CD, all that kind of stuff there. I've kind of wondered, it used to, in the early seasons of American Idol, they used to make a big deal about how they all lived in the house together and they all did this together and that together. I'm assuming that Last Comic Standing, it was not like that.
What do you mean? In what way?
Did you guys live in a house together in between episodes?
We did. My season we did. Our house. Yeah, and that was after that. I think they took that away. They changed this after my season. I don't know. They changed it a million times, but we didn't. Our house was the Queen Mary. You know the ship in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we lived. We lived downstairs with all the ghosts on the Queen Mary. Have you seen the Queen Mary lately?
I was on the Queen Mary, but it's been about 10, 15 years, I guess. It's been a while.
On the original one, the one that's in Long Beach, that one?
Long Beach, yeah.
Yeah, well, the last time they set sail was the last time they vacuumed. I hated it. Oh, my God. And we were down in the bottom. I mean, it was interesting. But it's haunted. Did you know that it's one of the top 10 haunted places?
No, I actually did not know that.
Yes, it's one of the, yeah. So we all had to live there, and one night, we had, this wasn't aired, we had a seance, and everybody freaked out because, I swear to God, we all saw ghosts, but they didn't air it because I think that they were afraid of a lawsuit because we couldn't breathe. It was weird. Yeah, and we all lived in cabins that they had in the bottom. So it was like all connecting cabins that opened up, and so it became almost one big room. It was weird.
It was weird. Well, Michele, we have a question for you from the web chat. William68 wants to know if he's chopped liver. No, actually, he wants to know how did you get started? Actually, he asked both questions, but we'll go with how did you get started?
What was his first one? Is he chopped liver?
Yeah, that's what he asked.
Well, tell him I'm Jewish and I love chopped liver. There's nothing wrong with being chopped liver as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
How did I get started? Oh, who the hell knows? It was 126 years ago. I don't know. People always said you're funny, and I started doing it as a hobby. I had a career. I was in a corporate career, making money, and I gave it all up to do this. And I'll tell you, it wasn't easy at first. For the first quite a few years, it was a rough ride. And And I'll tell you, the funny part of this business is every time I said, this is it, I can't do it, I'm quitting, that's when something came my way. So somebody wanted me to hang in there. I don't know why, and here I am, and now I'm stuck doing this because what the hell am I going to do now with my life? I'm too old to go out and get a job.
Yeah. What, do you remember the first time someone actually said, hey, you're pretty funny?
Oh, God, when I was, I used to go to parties, and I guess I must have been like in my early 20s or late teens, or I started partying very young. And I'd go to parties and I'd just be funny. And then I started doing a little impersonation of Bette Midler. And that was because when Bette Midler, I kind of looked like her in a way. Well, my mannerisms, not really look like her, and I never had the size breasts she has. But people would say, you remind me of Bette Midler. And so I started to like lip sync and imitate her. And then I entered contests and I'd win. And the next thing you know, I had a career imitating Bette Midler. And that's really how it all began.
Are you still doing that in the act?
Oh, no. I used to do crazy antics. I used to do leader of the pack on a tricycle and ride it off the stage. Now I'd break a hip. Are you kidding me? I'd need a defibrillator at every show.
Oh, God.
At the end of every show, I'd be hearing, clear.
Hey, we've got another call here. Can you handle it?
I think I could. I'm laying in bed watching the Mets. I'm good.
All right. Turn off your radio, and do you have a question for Michelle?
I need a defibrillator at every show.
Hello?
Hi. Turn down your computer.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry. It's Tejinder again from Brussels.
Hi.
I was wondering, she said she started 26 years ago. What was her age when she left her job at the computer company? And the second thing is, what are her recommendations for an incoming journalist to Washington to watch this? Why do they call it stand-up show or whatever, while in the picture on the website, she's sitting on this high stool and she's baring her arms like Mrs. Obama.
Okay, Michelle, go ahead and answer that.
First, translate the question for me, and then I'll try. Well, first of all, let's try to fish to find out how old I am. Don't think I'm stupid. How old were you when you left your job, and how? I'm not sure. It seemed like it was a variety of questions.
I think that was the first one. How old were you when you left your computer job?
Well, Jesus. I was somewhere between 20 and 40.
Okay. All right, and then
and now I'm 106.
Now he is actually calling us from Brussels, Belgium, because he's called before. But the other question is, why is it called stand-up comedy when the picture of you on your website has you sitting on a bar stool?
Well, okay, because that picture, I thought I looked good in. And secondly, I think the caption on top of it is, what I hate about stand-up comedy is there's too much standing.
There you go.
And I
Questions
thought that
answered.
I only go with the picture that makes me look good, so. And that was the 400th picture that the photographer took, and I said, okay, that'll do.
That answer your question, Xander?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling. Now bring me to Belgium.
Got a couple of questions from the web chat. M Church ENT, I don't know what that stands for, but anyway, is asking, ask Michelle what it was like to working with the Smothers brothers recently at the Bergen Performing Arts Center.
Ah, yes, I opened for the Smothers brothers. Oh, they are phenomenal.
Aren't they great?
Oh my God, have you seen them recently?
No, I actually covered them 20 years ago. They did a little club here in Florida, and got to talk to them briefly afterwards, and I just thought they're just great.
Aren't they the nicest guys? Oh my God, yeah. They are the nicest gentlemen. And I got the honor of they're doing their 50th anniversary tour.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got to tell you something. They look great. They were as funny as shit. And it was such an honor to work with them. I did 2 theaters with them in New York and in New Jersey. And I got to tell you, what a treat that was. Yeah, they were wonderful. There are people out there probably going, who's the Smothers Brothers?
Probably.
Yeah. But
did you get to spend any time with them?
Oh yeah, no, we were hanging backstage, we were drinking wine, one of them smoked cigarettes. Oh yeah, we had a ball. They were and then the second show, my family came to Jersey and I brought them all backstage and they were so gracious and so wonderful. I mean, you know, they said hello, took pictures with my family. They were really wonderful guys.
Oh, that's great. Well,
yeah.
All right, I've got a question for you from the website, but I'm going to give you the question. I want you to hold on to your answer. Think about it for a minute. I'm going to play another clip.
Okay.
But Eric David Hansen wants to know, what was the worst gig you ever did? So while you think about that, I'm going to play. This is another clip of Michelle on Last Comment.
Oh, my God. Oh, I have to come out there and kiss every one of you, and that means you at home. I'm coming over. We're having breakfast. Thank you, America. Thank you, Canada, and every other country that voted. I am on Last Comic Standing. Oh, my God, this is amazing. And next week I'll be a cashier at a supermarket, so don't have high hopes. I got to tell you, because, I don't really, I never really won anything in my life. As a matter of fact, the other night I had a dream. I won the lotto, $1,900. So I can't even dream big, so I am thrilled to be here. And I had to fly. I went back home to New York, came back here, and I got to tell you, what happened to that flight? It used to be 5 hours, now it's 7. What do we go, via Paris? What's happening? How cheap are the airlines? You know what I mean? One blanket, 200 people. Talk about terrorism. And the woman sitting next to me was so packed. The woman next to me goes, could you move your baggage by the exit door? I go, are you getting out? You don't like the movie? But you know what? It still amazes me when I sit there on the plane and that safety precaution, in case we should go down, use the seat cushion as a... Do you think about that when you hear that? The seat cushion. I'm thinking, okay, I watch the news all the time. Never once did I see anyone swim to safety thanks that seat cushion. Don't you want to turn on the news one day and see somebody? Whoa. Thank God for this seat cushion.
All right. So what was the worst gig? What was the worst gig you ever did?
Oh, geez, the worst gig I ever did? Oh, my God, I try to block them out, thank God. Lately, thank God, they've all been pretty good. But years ago, or when I first started in this business, the crap we had to do, I remember doing bars where people were drunk throwing darts and you were the one standing in front of the dartboard. And they could throw the darts anyway while you were up there. I once did a base. It was some army base years ago. And all they wanted to do was see my tits. And I'm like, if you want to see mine, you must be desperate. These are a AA. And then recently I did something at the Friars Club. I'm a friar at the Friars Club. And I had 112 temperature. I'm Jewish, I exaggerate. And I was doing a Pat Cooper roast. And my brain was completely fried. And I just, lost it in the middle. It wasn't my shining moment.
That would be tough.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
The gentleman from Brussels just wrote in on the web chat. He's relocating to D.C. and then he's going to be in New York as well. He's wondering if you are performing in D.C. or New York in the next couple of months.
Yes, and he could feel free to go to my website and send me his email address. I'd be happy to send him an info.
There you go, Sandy. You can't beat that.
Because I can't. I don't know. I'm on my calendar is down on my computer, and I have to be honest with you. I'm kind of laying in bed watching the Met game while I'm talking to you.
Okay, well, don't get up from that.
Yeah. I know my priorities, honey. I got my priorities.
Hey, we
Are you a
appreciate that you're
baseball fan at all?
multitasking now. Me, sure. We did you hear the introduction to the show? This is.
I thought I heard you say that.
Petersburg, American League Baseball capital of the world. Absolutely.
So who's your team?
Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, they're good, actually. I'm very proud of them. I like them, but
I grew up a Mets fan.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. I grew up in Central Jersey, born in Brooklyn. I grew up a Mets fan, so
Where in
I'm with
Brooklyn
you
are you born?
Oh,
now
God,
I'm interviewing you. I'm interviewing you now. We're switching the show around. It's all about you.
St. John's Episcopal Hospital. That's all I know. Wasn't there very long.
Oh, is that it? Just the hospital? Oh, okay. And then where in Jersey were you?
Central Jersey, near close by Rutgers, New Brunswick.
Ah.
So enough about me. Let's talk about stand-up 360.
You're more interesting. What the hell is there about me? Jesus, I'm watching That's the nice thing about being a stand-up comic, that I can actually lay in my bed today and watch the Mets. I think that's why I got into this career, so I could work nights. I hate
there are other careers you can work nights.
I know, but nobody wants to pay for that, believe you me.
All right. Tell me about the movie.
I'd be a stripper, but the change would hurt.
Tell me about the movie.
Oh, I tell you, I think it's a great idea. You know, for a lot of people who can't see comedy. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Only because my phone seems to be dying. Isn't that great in the middle of this interview? I guess it could be worse. I could be dying. That's going to be next. But there's some great comedians. I mean, so a lot of people don't go out to comedy clubs as much as they would like to. And, I mean, a lot of areas don't have comedy clubs. And on top of that, you go to a comedy club, you know, it's a 2-drink minimum and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So I think this is an inexpensive way to see some of the top comics.
Has your part been distributed yet? I know I think it's seven films over the summer. Has yours gone out yet, or do you know when yours will be distributed?
I think I'm in the second part, so I think mine comes out next week or sometime soon.
Okay, so that would be this Friday, I think. May 15th would be the second round.
Yeah, I'm in the second round. I'm not in the first round, so whenever that rears its ugly little head, that's when I'll be in the theaters, and that's when people will be running out screaming. But I think it's a fun idea, don't you?
Yeah, I do actually. It's been a while since I've been able to drag my wife to a comedy club. You know, we've got a kid and a house now, and just not that interested in going out and, you know, smoky and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know where it's smoky anymore. That's one thing you don't have because.
Well, that's true. That's how long it's been, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a long time because right now there's no. I mean, that's one of the things you don't have to worry about smoky anymore, unless maybe in Alabama somewhere. But everywhere else you can't smoke. But you know, you do have to. You pay to get in. You buy drinks. You know, it could be kind of, and you can't bring kids usually. Yeah. So in this case, you could, you know, and I think probably what they'll do is they'll make it PG or something. You know, they'll make it so everybody could come. I mean, I don't know, but I think so.
Was it difficult to, I was going to ask you this back to Last Comic, and I'll ask you about Stand Up 360 too. Do you have to, for certain settings, self-censor yourself for a particular kind of gig?
Oh, yeah, I do a lot of different things. I mean, you know, I would do a country club. You know, I would do, you know, a temple. I'll do a comedy club. So, you know, yes, it depends on, you know, who your audience is. You really need to know who your audience. You know, I did 2 weeks ago, me and this comedian Tom Carter, we did retirement centers in Florida.
Oh, no.
Where the age group was 60 to dead. So, you know, I mean, you know the Century Villages, right? I'm sure you're familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we had to perform there. So, and I got to tell you, it was fun. It was interesting because I'm not kidding. I mean, half these people are they're sitting in the front row, and one guy, I swear to God, I thought he was dead. I wanted to have the person next to him pinch him. And so, yeah, you got to alter to, who your audience is.
Did I was going to ask you. I was thinking about because you joked in this interview about your age, and did you ever see Sally Field in Punchline with Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, it's funny, we were just talking about it. And here's the funny thing: me and Sally Field have the same birthday.
Really?
Funny you should mention it. November 6th, both our birthday.
Does that movie ring true at all?
I honestly haven't seen it in years. But, it's not an easy business for women, period, end. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, most businesses are never easier for women than they are for men. But in this business, it's really hard because you go to a lot of places and they go, oh, women aren't funny. I don't know where that came from when you have Rosie O'Donnell had her own show. Ellen DeGeneres has a show. But yet, it doesn't matter. I mean, Roseanne Barr, but yet people think women aren't funny. It's very difficult. It's a lot easier, and I don't want to be on any kind of soapbox here, but it really is a lot harder for women, and especially women, even actors, any women getting older, even in the movie business. It's just very ageist and sexist at the same time.
Norm Macdonald was on Howard Stern last week, or maybe it was, I have to think, it was this week or last week, and he was saying that women, to him, with the exception of Tina Fey and Roseanne, who you just mentioned, he just doesn't think they're that funny. Just naturally, he doesn't think women are funny. And
you see?
Obviously, yeah, I mean,
isn't that sad? That's
men,
but you know what? Again, that's, everybody has their taste. And, okay, he doesn't believe they're funny. All right. Well, I don't know how you generalize like that. Like, I'll see comedians and I'll go, I like this one, I like that one. And I don't go, well, I don't like him because he's a guy. I don't say, oh, I don't like black comics. I don't like this comic, but I love that comic. I'm not generalizing. How could you do that? It never makes sense to me. I don't like women. I don't find them funny. Well, to me, honestly, I think he must be a misogynist.
Well, I was going to ask you, what women make you laugh?
None. I don't like women comics. I don't know why they're in I don't know why they're in the business. Well, come on, Roseanne was funny, and I think Ellen is very funny, and some people love her, some people hate her. People like me, people hate me. I'm not going to appeal to everybody. It's impossible. If you appeal to everybody, then you must be doing something wrong because you have to have your point of view that doesn't reach everybody. I'm sure there are people out there going, I don't know why she's not working at Walmart. You know what I mean? And then I get people who say, you're one of the funniest comedians I've seen. So, and to generalize and say, I'm going to make a general statement. I don't like any McDonald's comedians. Any comedian with the name McDonald, I'm not happy with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was at an event, a convention a couple years ago that I was covering as a writer, and a woman named Jean Robertson spoke, and I'd never heard of her before. She's a very funny woman. She likes to talk about her husband, who she calls Left Brain. And,
Left Brain.
I've since heard her bits on the Sirius XM comedy channel, and it's very, it's all G-rated, but it's very funny stuff. And I just wonder, is it just different material that you hear from men and women? And if I'm going to hear Norm Macdonald or Artie Lang, for example, I'm expecting to hear very blue, very graphic, sexual stuff. And maybe I'm not the same audience for, that's not the same audience is going to go see Gene Robertson or, and you yourself mentioned you're not real crazy about Kathy Griffith. So, is it that different with men and women when it comes to comedy?
No, you mean in our likes and dislikes?
A little bit of that, and then also just, men and women as comedians.
Well, I like certain men. Okay, my style is, like the other night I was at the Friars Club. And you know the Friars Club, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So they had a show with, like, all the old Jewish comics, Mickey Freeman, what's his name? All of them. I can't even think of their names. But a lot of the old Jews. Oh, Jesus, I have no memory. Not Sal Richards. What's his name? I just did it. Dick Capri. Now those guys, they make me laugh. Mm-hmm. Like I like their style of comedy. It reminds me, it's very Borscht Belt. It makes me laugh. And then there's some other comics that I like, but then I personally don't like men talking about, screwing their girlfriends and talking bad about women. I don't like that at all. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, one time I was at the Boston Comedy Club. I'm sitting there, and the guy in front of me, he couldn't say enough bad things about, the whole show was about vaginas and how he hated them. And I'm almost going to heckle him, and I'm the next act. And I'm thinking I can't yell out at him because I'm the next act, so I can't heckle him. I was going to shut the fuck up. So I was so angry by listening to this and going, this is comedy? So I got on stage, I said, the only vagina I don't like is the one he came out of. and all the women but they were, they were kind of laughing at him because people feel like they have to. But then when I said that, they were like, yay, somebody mentioned it. And I'm like, what's that? That's not comedy. That's like, what is that? So, and I don't even know if I answered your question.
Oh, the answer was good. It doesn't really matter what the
was
question
it? Did I answer your question? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think so. What about men and women? Are they different as an audience? Are there stories or jokes that you'll tell that women will roar at and men just don't get?
It's yes. Well, that will always happen because, I do a whole bit about being in menopause because I'm 20 with menopause. It's a weird thing, but anyway, I do. But you know what? I'm finding more and more the men are really laughing because I guess when I play an older age group, I guess it depends on the age group too. Like when I play people, or even actually I shouldn't say that because kids. Like they're around their moms and they have menopause and I talk about, but I make it very funny. But there are certain things that, that are inside jokes for women that I don't do specifically, but but they make, I guess women get it more because they experience it, Comedy to me is about your experiences. Did I answer that question too?
Yes, you did. You absolutely did. Well,
you're going to hang up the phone and go, this was the worst interview ever.
Oh, not at all.
And I'm never going to call her when she's watching the Mets game ever again.
Well, that may be a lesson for me. Yeah. No, actually, I have to tell you something funny, and then I'm gonna let you go. At least it's funny to me. I had Lisa Lampanelli on a couple months ago, and she's a very strong-willed woman, very funny. Unfortunately, I was in a place where I couldn't respond to her very well. I was covering a religious convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I had to take the call. It was like middle of the day, and I'm surrounded by very devout men and women, Baptists, Methodists, Southern Baptists, and I can't respond to her in kind. The way she's talking. So I have to be the absolute perfect straight man. And she's just letting me have it. So, no, you're doing just fine. And she, by the end of the conversation, it was all good. But no.
But you were there were so many things you wanted to say that you couldn't. Boy, that must have been frustrating.
It was a little, yeah. The people around me who knew who I was talking to couldn't wait to hear the interview later on the replay because they were wondering, what on earth is she saying to you? Well, listen. Let me get out the word again about your website, your movie. You can catch Michele Balan in concert by checking for upcoming dates on her website, www.comicbalan.com. Now, I will tell you that people in the web chat have been looking at your site and are saying that it needs to be updated, that there's no gigs listed.
Yes, please tell them tell them I was just out of the country. I was in the Bahamas for this past week, and the person who does my website fell off the face of the planet. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, yes, please apologize in the chat that we'll be taking care of that as soon as I can find where my webmaster went, or I'll be doing it myself and completely screw it up. So one of the two things will happen.
All right. And folks, you can order Michelle's DVD live.
And I have a new one coming out. A new one I just recorded 2 weeks ago called "Is It Hot in Here?" It's going to be very funny.
I have a feeling menopause might be mentioned.
I do the best menopause bit, though. You would love it. As soon as I get it, I'll send it off to you, and you could play clips of it. That would be great.
That would be terrific. And, of course, watch for her starting, we believe, this Friday, May 15th, in the film Stand Up 360, coming to a theater near you. Michelle, it's been fun. Thanks so much for being on
I enjoy it. Anytime you want me, give me a call, and, yeah, I'm sure you'll be calling quickly.
Well, when the new DVD comes out, come back on the show. Let's talk about it.
That would be great. That would be great.
All
Thanks for having me. I had a blast, and the Mets just tied the game, just in case you were wondering.
I was wondering, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, sweetheart.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And, of course, for more comedy interviews, you can surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier and curious conversation with Lisa Lampanelli, Robert Schimmel, Bob Alper, The Whitest Kids You Know, Ralphie May, and many more. Please think about writing an online review of Mr. Media, casting a vote for Mr. Media, or marking Mr. Media as one of your favorites, whether you listen on Blog Talk Radio, Pointer Online, MySpace, Facebook, NetVibes, Multiply, Zanga, Digital Journal, Friendster, Orkut, Bebo, Tagged, iGoogle, Yahoo, Podcast Pickle, Vox, Folio, Mediafly, Podfeed.net, Blueberry, Zencast, or Odeo. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. Subscribe to Mr. Media in iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews within the podcast section of iTunes and click the free subscribe button. It's that easy. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. That's ANDELMAN. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. I always appreciate when you share a piece of your day with Mr. Media. Thanks for listening, and let's go out with a little more Michele Balan.
I was standing outside, I got to tell you. I'm standing here, I'm from New York, and I saw a cop go by on a bicycle, and I'm thinking, how scary is a cop on a bike? What do they do, go over to you, pull over, blink, blink, blink. What do they do when they arrest you? Under arrest, get in the basket, we're going downtown. And I'm outside smoking, because really that's what I do best. And somebody comes over to me, I love this question. Do you have an extra cigarette? An extra cigarette. I'm a smoker. Why would I have an extra cigarette? Like I'm walking around with a cigarette going, this is extra, I'm not going to smoke it. I got this in the pack at 21. Anybody want it? But I'm in a great mood because I just got an email. They're going to increase my penis by 30%. So, just what I need. How about increasing my? That would be nice. Actually, somebody once thought I had an implant. I said, yeah, give me those little ones, those double A's. That's what I want right there. I was thinking of getting a breast implant. You know why? Because they don't use silicone anymore. They use saline solution, which is great because I'm a contact lens wearer. I get a little my lens, I can clean it myself, you know. Let me tell you something. I don't know if there are any women here over 40. Yeah, let me ask you if this happened to you when you turned 40. All of a sudden, one day after 40, I get in the shower, I look down, I have hair on my breast. That happened to you? All of a sudden, it's hairy. I'm like, I don't even want to shower. I'm afraid I'm watering them. That's how bad it's getting.